Welcome to Manny's TV Talk, where we will talk about all of our favorite reality TV shows and news surrounding them. Grab a snack, a drink, and get comfortable because this starts now. Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about the Married to Medicine Season 10 Reunion Part 1. Let's get right into it.
Her great niece died in her pool.
Okay.
I reached out. We are going through. If you have something that catastrophic to happen, I'm gonna reach out.
Okay, you guys, let's talk about the first explosive part of the Married to Medicine Season 10 reunion. So, the ladies make their way into the studio in New York. Again, this is the big 10th season. So, I love that when they went there was a bunch of pictures of like their confessionals throughout the years. It was sort of like a museum gallery of the different cast members and how their looks have changed. I really like that they did that. I also love that Sweet Tea, who looks identical to my cousin, by the way. But anyway, she said, listen, Heavenly has been making fun of me and my body, so she gave her a taste of her own medicine. So she put a bunch of unflattering pictures of Heavenly with some quotes and stick them all across the building. As far as the dresses, my personal favorites were Simone, Sweet Tea, and Phaedra. The theme was wine vineyard. I really like how they decorated the set. Andy introduces them. The shade started right away. Andy asks Sweet Tea if she's the one who put the posters up, and she says, yeah, I wanted to give some words of affirmation to Heavenly. Heavenly asks, well, is it Sweet Tea or Long Island tea? And Sweet Tea says, well, it looks like you're giving some malt liquor. Oh my gosh. Also, because it's been a decade of the show, they show some flashbacks from back then for them to kind of see and react. Okay, so the first season package that they go over is Phaedra Parks. So we see her coming to the group, her past with Greg, and her being buddy-buddy with Quad. After watching that, Andy asks how does she compare Married to Medicine versus being on the Atlanta Housewives, and Phaedra says it's a totally different group of women. Here, they actually support each other in their marriages. There was a comment that Toya had made about Apollo not attending Aydin's birthday party, but Phaedra didn't really say anything. Then they address how Phaedra was close with Quad, then suddenly changed her flight once they went to Napa Valley, kind of like just dropped her. So Phaedra says, well, it was Toya's event, and she told me that she was not okay with Quad, so why would I bring her Quad over here? I don't even think Quad would want to go in the first place. So Quad then says that she felt like Phaedra was going along to get along. Simone asks, well, what is wrong with that? But Quad feels like Phaedra ditched her after she found out that the other ones didn't want to be around her. Phaedra says, well, it's not about, me ditching her, but why would I attach myself to the Titanic? Damn. Andy also questions Quad because remember, Heavenly said that Quad was talking crap about Phaedra. So Quad says that she never dragged Phaedra. Quad says that it was actually Heavenly who called her and was talking about Phaedra and said that Phaedra did not tell the truth. Heavenly says that the thing for her that didn't make sense with Phaedra regarding the truth was that she was under the impression that Phaedra dated Dr. G, but Phaedra then denied it. So Phaedra addresses that. All of a sudden, according to Phaedra, dating means that you have had sex, which is not necessarily true, and I'm Phaedra's #1 fan, but I definitely think she's lying here. Do I think her and Dr. Gregory were exclusive boyfriend and girlfriend? No, I don't. But I do think that they had some going on, which we would probably today call the talking stage. And actually they played a little game, guilty or not guilty, Phaedra edition. So they asked questions like, oh, is Phaedra guilty of bringing Quad to the bachelorette party? Yes. There was one that said, is Phaedra guilty of asking Greg for $4,000 a month? And here's the thing, they all believed that Phaedra was asking G for $4,000 a month, and we all know that's true. And on top of that, if I recall correctly, years ago, like I'm talking probably 10 years ago, Phaedra made an appearance on Married to Medicine because remember Quad went to go visit her in her office, and Quad mentioned that her and Phaedra both dated Dr. Greg, so I don't get why she's lying about that. But in conclusion, Andy asks Phaedra and Quad if they want to be friends again, and Quad says absolutely, but Phaedra says, Quad, we've been friendly for years, but I don't want to feel like if you think I'm not rocking with you, you're going to go and talk bad about me to whoever's going to be willing to listen. Quad says that she never talked bad about her. Heavenly says, well, that's not true. Quad did drag Phaedra. So apparently I guess the drift happened after that funeral service thing. That's when phone calls started to be made between the people. Apparently, Phaedra said that she didn't want to be doing the NS. When Heavenly heard that Phaedra said this, she talked to Quad bad things about Phaedra, in which she said, well, if Phaedra doesn't like it here, then she can get the hell out. But Quad told Phaedra what Heavenly said, so now it's a big messy very complicated situation. I guess the point is everybody was talking about everybody. Phaedra says that trust is earned, so we'll see what happens. I do know though that last night Quad was pretty mad on Twitter with Phaedra among others. But moving on, then it's time for Toya's segment. Her scenes involved Toya's wine club, Heavenly embarrassing her in the finale, and her just working on her marriage. So Toya says that her and Eugene are definitely in a much better place. Simone says that Toya still needs to be a little bit less critical. Toya says that, you know what, there's always going to be a certain dynamic of her being kind of pampered when it comes to her and Eugene, and that's probably not going to change. So they asked Toya, when did she get such high fancy demands? She shares that, she was raised from humble beginnings, but when she was young, she was teased one time about wearing some Payless shoes, so that stuck with her on wanting better. Then they asked Toya about her donating the wine for the Mad Gala instead of giving the $1,000. Andy asks if the wine that she was giving to them was given to her. Toya says yes, but she's defending herself, saying that she only has a number of wine cases per year. So the fact that she used the ones that she has for this event is like significant because she could have used it for other events. Yeah, she kind of made no sense. I think we can all agree that she should have just paid the $1,000. Like I said, there were many flashback clips being shown. I always crack up when the early seasons when seeing how Heavenly and Jackie used to go at it. Okay, so then the next segment they watch is the doctor segment. So we just see the three doctors doing their thing with their patients and Jackie meeting the vice president. So they discuss how amazing it was for Jackie to talk to Kamala Harris. They touch on Ozempic. None of them are on it. Heavenly did try it, but she got off of it because she says she doesn't want to double in size once she stops. They also say that having to tell someone about having an STD is like a weekly thing for them. Okay, so then we get to the controversy. The resurfaced clip of Jackie saying that black women need to stop crying wolf. So Jackie gets emotional and says that this is the hardest moment that she's had in medicine in her career. She says that to hear that her words tore down everything that she has done to promote the well-being of others was very hard. Andy says, well, Phaedra, you were one of the first people to stand up publicly for Jackie. And this was interesting. Phaedra says, yeah, because I know what it's like to be canceled or criticized harshly. It only takes about 30 seconds for people to throw darts at you, but it takes years for people to become professionals. She says Jackie should be judged on her work, not necessarily on her words. The reason why I think this is interesting is because, well, first of all, it's true. You can't throw away decades of work over a 20-second clip. But this is also, I think, probably one of the first times that we've heard Phaedra talk about what happened to her in season 9 of Atlanta, because it wasn't like she just left and then came back. No, that was a major thing. Everybody was like, oh, how dare she, make that thing about Candy. Not me, but a lot of people were. So for her saying that, I thought was pretty interesting. Jackie goes through the line of people who she says reached out to her in the group, everyone except Quad. So Andy asked Quad, why didn't she reach out to Jackie? Andy was being very shady, though, I'm going to say, to Quad. He was giving little nasty comments to her. But Quad says that she was going through a lot herself, situation going on, but she does stand with Jackie as a doctor. She definitely does. The next season package they see is Quad's, which was short, but of course it was a lot of what the season was about, her being kicked out and all of that. So after watching that, Quad fully not only apologizes, but takes accountability for what she did to Toya. She apologizes and says that it was wrong and she shouldn't have said what she said. She said, I was dead ass wrong. I'm sorry. But Quad feels that anything she says falls on deaf ears with the ladies in this group. And Toya says, well, Quad has never apologized the way that she just did right now. Toya says this is the first time that Quad has said what she did and that it was wrong. She thinks it's convenient, but she appreciates it, and now she will just have to see how Quad acts from here on out. Toya does bring up that the night of the Napa Valley trip, Quad said, well, I'm here for this check. Quad says, well, I said that because I didn't think you wanted me here because you don't like my ass. Toya says, well, you could have called me because I actually told the ladies to invite you. Toya wanted her there, so Quad says, okay, well, that was my mistake. As far as the resurrection, Jackie says that she wished that Quad would have said, I messed up and I haven't been in touch with y'all. Jackie sort of, circles back to Quad not reaching out to her when this video controversy happened. So, because she would have loved to hear from Quad, she says. So this is where Quad tells us that when the video controversy happened, she called Heavenly, and Heavenly told her not to call Jackie because they thought Quad has something to do with the video being put out there. Lord have mercy. Not them blaming Quad for this. I was like, wow, that's crazy, especially because it was on Heavenly's YouTube video. They talk about Quad showing up to the bachelorette party because that's when everybody was going to be together. She didn't call anyone prior to, nor did anyone call her. So that's where Simone interjects and she says, it doesn't matter. She starts to scream. Y'all know how she is. Listen, I think that Simone's theme song needs to be, let's get loud, let's get loud. Because she loves to get loud. She really does. So she says that Quad has never been there for her when it comes to something without a camera and a mic. On the contrary, she has. Andy says, wait a minute. You've reached out to her even after the Napa Valley trip? Simone says, yes. After the incident where her niece died in her pool. Oh, when she said that, you guys, I felt like a little punch in the stomach. I was like, ouch. I think Quad even was like Simone, like she kind of didn't want Simone to say it. Maybe Simone didn't hear, but she still said it. And Quad just started bawling her eyes out. But the point Simone was trying to make is that the friendship transcends the show. After listening, Quad says that Simone told her that she can't be friends with her because she doesn't want to make Toya mad. Simone says that those were not her words. What she said was that she would not jeopardize her real friendship with Toya because Toya and Eugene have invited her to their home. They've cooked for her. They showed her love, so why would she jeopardize that? Andy says, I want to hear from Quad. Simone screams, if she stays honest, I stay quiet. If she lies, I'm talking. Ooh. So Quad says, she's right. Something tragic did happen. And Simone did show up and she showed me love. And I appreciate that, Simone, for you showing me support in that time of my life. Thank you. Then they break for lunch. And very quickly, though, Quad grabs Jackie to the side and she asks Jackie, did you really think I would do that to you? Jackie says, I was in a very bad spot, Quad. I didn't know. And Quad cries and says, you know I wouldn't do that to you. And Jackie says, that's the thing. We're not connected like that. I don't know you. And I would rather lose a friend than to lose myself. Ooh. Ooh. I mean, what a reunion, right? I mean, it's only been one part. This shows you how good Married to Medicine is. But anyway, the start of the night was without a doubt Quad. I mean, can you believe had Quad not been there, this first part wouldn't have been possible. It was solely centered around Miss Quad, Miss Quad. So my hat goes off to Miss Quad. I will say, okay, so there's a little bit of a controversy with Simone. I saw on social media people were saying that she shouldn't have brought up the incident with Quad sneeze. I'm of two mindsets with this. Like I said, when I first heard Simone say this, it was gut wrenching, right? But as I thought about it, this is gonna be extremely unpopular, and if y'all disagree with me, definitely let me know. I don't have a problem with her bringing it up only because I don't feel like she brought it up to throw it in her face in like a negative way. I think, and also, okay, guys, let's keep it real. Something so tragic and so recent that was all over the blogs, for people to expect this not to be brought up is kind of like naive. Like, come on, you really think they wouldn't have brought this up on the show? Like, we can't really pretend that it didn't happen, you know. And I think the biggest part why I don't have a problem with it is because if you think about it, it helped the conversation. Quad said, "You're right, and I appreciate you. Thank you for doing that." So that's kind of what I'm thinking. But anyway, let me know your thoughts about this first part. Definitely explosive. What do you think about what happened? Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all next time. Bye.